But when money comes, he's always in the club, throwing dollars here and there. And he too, like, you must get pregnant first before I even come and see your parents. And he met me at the airport and begged me. I told him I want more. I wanted more for my life, and he wasn't giving me. So right at that point, I was suicidal. That's how I met my son's dad. And we kissed and we exchanged numbers, and that was it. 4 days later, he called. He came with bike.
He came with bike.
Jesus.
You left BMW.
I wasn't used to that. I was like, what's going on here? Only for me to find out I was pregnant.
Just the weekend encounter.
Yeah, I'm not a first timer to DNC and all that, but no. He wasn't done with school. He didn't go to school at all. Although his family were in UK, but he didn't do anything. So I was worried about that. Before I knew it, he got my phone, got my father and all that, called everybody, I'm pregnant though.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So he informed them?
Yeah. I was like, are you crazy? Blah, 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 blah. My mom, some of my brothers, hey, Jesus, they gave me hell. Oh, you brought disgrace to the family name. You did this, you did that.
Pour it with palm. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Pour It with Palm. I hope you missed me because I surely missed you. So yeah, Pour It with Palm is that podcast where we get to have conversations. We put it all out there. Vulnerable, playful, funny, whatever the case is, we just want to talk it out. And today is no different as my guest is already seated here. She's someone that I've always wanted to talk to because she has a very interesting worldview, and she's been through some things that some would say, it's not easy for any young lady or woman to go through. And we're going to be having that conversation with her here today. So just hang in there because I promise you that it's going to be an enjoyable time. My guest today, seated with me on the couch for Pour It with Palm, is my good friend Anne. Anne is here, and we're going to be talking about everything under the sun as the time permits.
Okay.
So welcome, Anne.
All yours.
Welcome to Pour It with Palm.
Thank you.
Hope you're going to be pouring it.
Oh, well, it depends on what you mean. I will, whatever it takes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all yours.
Alright, so we're going to get a little serious in the beginning because we're going to be talking about, let me put it this way, tough love. I feel like African parents or Nigerian parents sometimes, in wanting to put us on the straight and narrow, sometimes they tend to now take it a little too tough. And I know that, for example, here in Nigeria, most times they believe, the daughter is the mother's property. When she excels, everybody will celebrate her. But when they feel like something is not going the way it should, it becomes, how did you raise your daughter? And things like that. So before we get into the meat of the conversation today, first I want to know, what was it like growing up in a strict household with a mom that was a disciplinarian? Because I actually relate to this, growing up with a mom that's kind of similar. Like when it comes to discipline, they will really hit hard and say, you have to be a certain way.
I can't even begin to tell you what my childhood was like. It was crazy. But one thing I remember growing up was the more I was beaten, the more I rebelled. I just wanted to be bad because they were expecting me to be good, being a child of a pastor, last born and all that. So I just wanted to give them hell. Trust me, because I grew up in a home that I'm the last born in my house, where they don't understand. My family didn't really get me, All I needed was love, but I wasn't really getting that. I didn't really get that growing up. They felt their own type of love was just to beat me, but that's not what I was all about. I just needed someone that could listen to me. So my mom would beat me, my brothers would beat me, and it was crazy. And then, apart from that, I had complex. I had a lot of inferiority complex when I was growing up. I had these rough hands and big eyes and big nose and big mouth. And from childhood, they made me understand I was ugly. Yes, my family, I had a nickname, Crocodilo.
Wow.
Because my skin used to peel. During dry season, my skin would peel, my legs would crack, and I had this big lips and I had big mouth. So when they just say, crocodilo, that means crocodile, understand? So everybody used to just call me names. I had a lot of complex growing up. So I was yearning to be loved. I was yearning to be heard. And then nobody was hearing me. Nobody was hearing me. So I was seeking for love outside out. And I started going to friends, trying to make some friends with some people. And sometimes they would teach me good things, sometimes they would teach me bad things and all that. But trust me, I was never at home. I didn't really want to be at home. I always wanted to escape. I just always wanted to run. I didn't want to be at home. So when I eventually got into the university, everybody was like, go to UNIO. Go to UNIO. I schooled in Rio, yeah, but go to UNIO. I said, never.
That's far away from home.
I said, never. So I opted for Unibank, but I didn't get admission, so I got it in Unizik and all that. So, well, my childhood is something. In fact, I have phobia right now. Sometimes thinking about my childhood, I really have phobia. When I think about it, the way I was beaten, I now grew up. I told myself I would be, as a mother, as a parent, I'll be everything my parents were to me. Everything, like completely the opposite. So when I want to react to my son, I was like, no, this is not me. I grew up in a house that nagging was the order of the day. Abuses were the order of the day. Discouragement was the order of the day. But my family don't even know that what damage they did to me. Like I can come back and I failed in something like, hey, you're useless now. You're useless now. That's how, if you were reading, like the typical African family, if you were reading, you wouldn't have failed now. Or you can come, you can come to them and say, Mom, please, let me say something that I remember that really touched me. I remember the first time I had my period, I was so afraid of my mom, I couldn't go to her. And I went to a neighbor of mine and I told her, I think I've seen my period. I was, 11 or 12. I said, blood is coming out from me and I don't know why, And she was like, this is how you do that, this is how you do it. I do that. And then 2 days later, I think my mom noticed, Keme, you don't follow man. That is, no, my mom, I've learned a lot about from her, but I'm just talking about her aspect. You don't follow man. I said, Mama, we shouldn't be man. But you they talk, He said, no, you don't follow man, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, I just saw my face. So why did you come to me? I said, I didn't say you will beat me because my mom is Igbo, my father is was Akwa, so we speak pidgin and good English in the house. So you're like, I thought you would beat me. That's how afraid I was of my mom. I felt she was going to beat me and all that. So even after then, one would think she would sit you down and say, now you're becoming a woman. It was always, if you carry belly come this house, I will kill you. If you carry belly come this house, say your papa na pastor, blah, 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 So there's always that fear, that fear in me and all that. But altogether, I felt growing up wasn't so pleasant, but I decided to make that change in me, because when I go out, I see my friends, their house were always on point, their family. I desired it. I really desired it, and I also used to have an escape, and one of my escapes was I loved clean houses, beautiful apartments, and so I used to escape, even as a child.
And go where?
Into that world.
Mentally.
That time we didn't have phones and all that. So I used to create a vision of what I want to be, where I want to be. So in the midst of all the chaos, I would go and lie down on my bed and fantasize. They used to call it fantasy then. But I didn't know I was building my dream. So I would just lie down and dream about staying in a beautiful apartment with a beautiful family. Fine husband.
What's Gen Z calling it these days?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
what where you do the calendar, put it beside your bed, like physically, and
The
you just
vision,
look
they
at
call
it.
it something.
Vision board.
They call it vision
Yeah,
board.
so a mental vision
Mine
board.
was in my head. I had a lot of them in my head. I used to call it my escape place. So I would go lie down and I would escape. I would escape into that place. And I think that's what really kept me going, you know. Yeah.
So I relate on the part of discipline. My mom was that way as well, and you know, I feel like when women have daughters, there's sometimes that fear where you feel like, oh, you're so afraid, and it's always, oh, don't get belly or don't get pregnant. It was just this thing. And so now, with all the warnings from your mom from when you were young about don't get pregnant, don't get pregnant, don't get pregnant, and now I know you got pregnant while you were in university.
Yes, I did.
So how did that play out?
Okay. Where do I even start?
Let's start from the beginning.
Where do I even
Because of course you were
start?
grown. It's not like it was a teenage pregnancy or something, but you were
No, it
still living with your
wasn't.
mom. You were still in school when you got pregnant.
It wasn't. Okay, from the beginning, I never planned to get pregnant out of wedlock. I never did. I had this boyfriend that spoils me. He was, I think I would say he was the only person that really showed me love, you know. I met him in university. He's not a Nigerian, he was a Cameroonian, and we met online, and jokingly, he invited me to Dubai. I'm going to be in Dubai, come. And if I could know it, he just sent me money. Oh, your ticket is waiting for you in Lagos, come pick it up. It was just a big joke, you know. And then I went to Dubai the first time, stayed a while, came back.
Did your mom know?
No. How can they know?
So yeah, did she think you were in school?
They thought I was in school.
Okay.
I went, and then I came back. And I went again. This is the guy that spoiled me. He taught me how to wear designers clothes, designer watches. In fact, he showed me the world. He bought me a millennium bulb then.
Like the baby girl
dancing, the jewelries, the everything, and it was really fun being with him. I've always loved that baby girl lifestyle, but he actually showed me how a man loves a woman. He would give me roses and stuff like that. But he was she slapped me, even when I'm stubborn. When I'm stubborn, yeah.
And you were quite young.
The relationship was really toxic, but really, really nice. So I don't pray your daughter's going through that though, but it was really nice. And then, but he desired that I should give him a child. He's a Cameroonian, I'm a Nigerian. It's a taboo for a Nigerian. But for them, every girl that dates a guy within 6 months, to prove that you love them, you have to take it. You have to get pregnant. You have to.
There was commonplace there.
It was, I went to Bamenda, I went to Limbe with him. Everybody had children. It was a normal thing. It was the norm. It was as if you had GSM. Everybody has a child for your boyfriend. Like, in fact, he even told me in Cameroon, if you don't get pregnant, as in you don't have a child, nobody will want to marry you. You will feel you cannot,
like something is wrong.
Yeah, you cannot mother a child or something. So nobody, he kept, you need to get pregnant, and I didn't want to get pregnant at all because I know my mom would kill me. My father would just chew me, you know. I was just in for the ride. I was having fun, you know. But at a point, it became very serious. Like, getting pregnant actually became the topic of the day. And then in my usual stubborn stage, I was telling never, since I would cry by the phone, I would not. And I didn't mean it, but it was just maybe to get him angry, and he actually took it serious. I actually thought I actually meant it, but I didn't mean it after a while. So, but after a while, the relationship was really becoming toxic, and I was staying with him way too long. I haven't finished school then. It was supposed to be a vacation trip, but I was staying into 6 months, 8 months. Wow. And I was yet to finish my project at school. So I just woke up and said, you know why I came? I came here because I wanted us to do business. You told me I should come get some money so I can go start a wine business. I've always wanted to be a businesswoman. So I said I should go start a wine business. Why? What's going on? Why are we not thinking about that? But when money comes, it's always in the club, throwing dollars here and there, and really, it wasn't really my thing, you know. At the point, I just made up my mind. This was like 2008. 2007. I just told myself, after my birthday, if nothing changes, I'm going to leave. I just came to that point in my life, like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave everything. I will walk away. And I told him that. Maybe he thought I was joking. So after my birthday, he was still living the flamboyant lifestyle, not ready to settle down, blah, blah, blah. And he too, like, you must get pregnant first before I even come and see your parents and blah, 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 and all that. So after my birthday, I just got upset. I called my sister and said, please, could you send me some money I sent back to you? Let me buy my ticket. And he thought it was a joke, you know. I told him I'm going back to Nigeria. He said, serious? I said I will leave every single thing and I will walk away. I will leave.
That's every single thing he bought for you?
The gold, the jewelry, the cars, whatever. I said I was going to leave. Me said I didn't even know how I was going to leave all those things, but I just made up my mind. Whatever. You know, I just got my passport and I left. I went everything. I went to duty free, bought something, bought a box, bought just little clothes I'm going to wear, you know, came back to Nigeria.
Was there a part of it that felt, oh, maybe he'd reach out, he'll apologize, he'll be serious?
He met me at the airport and begged me. I told him I was leaving, I was done with this lifestyle. I feel like a disappointment because my sister was really worried that I wasn't coming back and everybody was worried about me at that point. I just felt, is this how I'm going to live my life? Like going to parties, going to clubs, no. I want more, I wanted more for my life and it wasn't giving me, so why? You know, so I left, came back to Lagos. Too scared to come back to Rio. My sister came. Now, in fact, at that point I was suicidal because I didn't even know where to start from. Like how? I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. I was always locking myself in my room and I didn't just know what to do. I thought about killing myself so many times, but I felt I'll go to hell because of my background. So what do I do? And then one of those days, my friend said, "Let's go swimming." 3 months ago, so go swimming, and I said, "Okay." Went with her. That's how I met my son's dad. Jokingly, we just met him. He was a very good swimmer, and you know, he got to the deep end, told me, "Come and kiss me." You know, he dragged me inside the deep end and kissed me, all those crazy stuff like that. And we kissed and we exchanged numbers, and that was it. 4 days later, he called, "Where am I?" I said, "I'm at home." He said, "You come out now. It's a Friday." I said, "Come and do what?" He said, "Come out." I said, I'm not in the mood. That's okay, tell me where you are. Okay. Give me bike. There you go.
He came with like,
Jesus.
you know, you left the BMW.
As in, my ex was, when we go to club, this kind of,
you know, saying don't
as in
arrive.
people, there's always this guy on this side, this one on this side, papa's car with chain, and then you're climbing bike. And then that weekend, he said, "Let's go to club." We had to stand on the very, very long line before they could admit us. I like, seriously, honestly, Pam,
In that moment,
I wasn't used to that. I was used to, he's around.
special treatments, clear way,
We are always in VIP and all that. So like, having to, like, hey, Jesus Christ, what kind of thing is this one like this? But anyway, I didn't want to look as if I just felt, I've been there. Maybe this would work. And then after the clubbing, he took me to his house. Hey, if you see where he was staying in Lagos, Jesus Christ. I can't, or maybe Mushi. I don't know if it's Mushi. Sorry, I can't remember.
Yeah. But just that slight difference from where you were coming from.
I was like, what's going on here? I know the next day, I slept over. The next day, I spent the whole day trying to clean up the house to even have a space to stay and all that. And then I just felt, okay, let me try something different, you know. And also, I was not in a good stage mentally and emotionally. So we stayed that weekend. So I was so worried. She was like, where are you? Why are you? Why are you? She now came to find out where I was. And I what are you doing here? I said, myself, I don't know. He said, this guy said he loves me now. He said, love you like that, like that.
I just met you.
She now told the guy, you don't know my sister. Oh. She likes money. Oh. When she realized she's not getting the love, the lifestyle she likes, she will hit you for it. You should. She's like, come on, maybe she has changed. She did blah 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 blah. Anyway, my sister literally dragged me to the house, to my friend's place, and I went. Then we used to come and sit, and then I went back to school only for me to find out I was pregnant.
Just that weekend.
Now, when I found out I was pregnant, I said, Jesus, this is the pregnancy I was looking for with this guy. Why this guy? And I know how many times I have actually prayed to God for a child with this other person, because, I mean, he could give me the word, he really loved me. But he didn't come. And I said, oh, but I was now contemplating, do I take it out? Do I keep it? Do I take it? It was a crazy thought for me. But every time I thought about keeping it, I felt this joy in my spirit. But when I thought about taking it off, there was this coldness, as if I was going to die. Yes, that's the feeling I got. I kept getting that feeling mentally. My best friend then was a guy. Justice would say, and I will sign for you. Come and go and this is not you now. See who you want to take in for. Are you mad? Like are you crazy? No, now you can't do this. I said, no, I don't know, I'm scared. That is not like it's a big deal. Like I'm not novice. I'm not a first timer to DRC and all that. But no, I don't. There's something about this pregnancy, and I actually prayed to God. I wasn't even thinking about my parents. I was like, anyhow, they'll be all right. I knew they were going to kill me, but I just said, well, they are going to be all right at the end of the day. If they shall kill me,
after the reaction.
After all, me, I've already been a prodigal daughter. I've traveled out, I've come back, and they won't shall do anything much. So I went home. My mom didn't know I was pregnant, but my son's dad was crazy about me. Before I knew it, got my phone, got my father's number, called everybody, I'm pregnant.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So he informed them?
Yeah. I was like, are you crazy? Blah, 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 blah. It was a rocky start. Like, I don't know you. You're not my type. You're not this, you're not that, you're not that.
So what was he saying? That he wanted to
marry
at that point?
I didn't want. I just told him that I don't want a situation that I can't be climbing a ladder with two things in my hands. You're not me.
You're still struggling to even find your
understand. You have to have something to do. He wasn't done with school. He didn't go to school at all. His family were in UK, but he didn't do anything. So I was worried about that. I was worried that I was going to end up like all those girls I see. So I just told him no. That one thing is sure, I'm going to have this child. Definitely, with or without you. But I am not going to marry.
You. So you're ready.
Yes. I was afraid. I didn't even know how it was going to happen, but I said no. I need to finish school. When I'm done with school, I'll know what else to do. Then one of my brothers then was really strong for me. Too strong for me. My sister too. They said, you know what? Just focus on finishing school. Focus on having your baby. Focus on going to service. That's all you should be thinking about now. Don't think about much. And that's what I did. My family, my mom, some of my brothers, hey Jesus, they gave me hell. Oh, you brought disgrace to the family name. You did this, you did that, you did this. So well, it happens and all that. Eventually, I had my child. It wasn't easy. I would tell you, it wasn't easy. Having to have a baby to go to youth service, it wasn't easy. In Abuja then, it was tough.
Yeah, people with new baby, they really go with their mom or someone to the camp.